Hey, it's Alicia, and welcome to my hotel room. I'm currently in a hotel, but I wanted to film this for you. I believe we can do fascia release everywhere. There are no excuses. So I've been doing quite a bit of fascia release here in the hotel, and I actually started using this ball to explore my abdomen, my obliques, my ribs, my serratus, my lats, basically this entire side body line right here and a little bit of here. And I'm going to show you what I've been doing because I really like it. It's kind of intense because we're actually going on the ribs. So I want to always do this little word of caution when I'm showing fascia release, why to do it, why not to do it. And whenever you don't feel safe, stop. Like if you're in doubt, stop. If you're not sure what you're feeling is right, stop. We have a lot of nerves on the ribs, and so it can be a really, really sensitive area. But the reason I like going here is there's a lot of fascia there too. There are actual muscles in that area, but we're gonna work our way up. So you're gonna need what I have here is a 4-pound medicine ball, and it's a little bit squishy. I think it's filled with sand. So I wouldn't really recommend a fully dense one, like a rock hard one. But something you could use is the kind of yoga tune-up balls, or the squishier balls would be acceptable for this, more so than the dense one. So either try to find a sand-filled 4-pound medicine ball or a squishy like yoga tune-up ball that's more bouncy, if you know what I'm talking about. It's not weighted. And I'm going to just do this on my left side. And then obviously if you need to do it on your right, you'll do the same thing. We don't always need to do both sides evenly. Generally, my tip for that is that if one side feels more restricted to you, more tender, tight, adhesed, whatever, then you're going to do that side more, or that side only. So my left side tends to be the side on me. And we're going to start kind of in the soft tissue of the obliques, kind of in the abdomen. Okay, so you're going to be lying on your side like this, and you want to find the soft cavity just below your ribs, and play around with the placement of this ball because all of our anatomy is different. I have kind of wide flaring ribs, I have a long torso, and then, but I'm short, so your anatomy is going to be different than me, but you basically want to start just below the ribs and then just kind of sink in. So I'm going to try not to put my hand here so that you can see the ball a little bit. But just so you know, I like to actually put it here when I'm doing it because I might actually do some movements like this. So I want you to know that that's something you could try. So whenever I'm doing fascia release, I really like to explore movement, and I like to make it my own. I encourage you to do the same. So I'm just giving you ideas of what to do here, but please feel free to improvise and do what feels good to you. So you're going to sink in, and then this entire routine is going to use a lot of breath. So breath is actually going to be part of the movement. So I like breathing in really big. And when I let it out, I'm sinking in. So yeah, you might see my belly bulge out because I'm pushing it in weird angles right now, but I like going, you might explore all the way down. I'm going to stay kind of up here so that you can kind of see me and I can talk to you, but you might explore going down and then just continue using your breath. So, and let your breath kind of push you off the ball, and then you sink in and maybe go down or do some of those movements I was talking about. So this entire time we're right here, we're below the ribs, we're not on the ribs. And then you could play around actually with going a little bit more directly into your side and just breathe. You're going to grab that side body, a little bit of what might feel like something on your back right here, and that's an option. So again, you're just going to make this your own. I don't feel a lot here, but you might. We're all a little bit different, right? And feel free to explore that soft tissue area as much as you want, including going maybe right up under the ribs into the diaphragm a bit. That can be a really rich area of tight fascia because a lot of us tend to hold our breath and not belly breathe. So belly pushing off, belly relaxing, sinking in. Now we're going to move to the ribs. So right now I'm just kind of hanging out on the very edge of my ribs and it's very tender. So I'm just going to explore that, and I don't like the way it feels. So I'm going to move. And what that usually indicates to me is that I'm right on the edge of a rib. But we're actually trying to get a little bit between them, or where the flat part of the balls that kind of molds to my body can kind of sink in a bit and not be like right on the end of a rib. Breathing, exhaling, sinking in. Now on this one, you don't really want to sink in all the way because that would be pretty intense. Just check in with yourself. How much can you sink in and have it feel okay? And then again, you could add a little bit of these back and forth movements or roll around in a circle. If you ever get like an electrical or burning sensation, it means a nerve is getting irritated. So again, we're on ribs. That's what you want to look out for. Just come off if that ever happens. Maybe rub it out. Nothing bad's going to happen as a result of doing that. You just don't want to stay on it. And then I'm going up into the more ribby area here now. And the muscles that we have here are going to be the edge of the lat, the lattisimus dorsi, the serratus, which is the boxing muscle, and then those, the obliques and some of those intercostal muscles here. So and I'm going to let my body collapse a little bit. So it's going to shift where the ball is. And this feels like a really good spot for me. So I would want to like explore here, you know, like what kinds of movements can I do? And one option is extending the arm out. If I do that, I have to have a tripod over here. I can't just lay fully down. Now you might notice that your neck starts to feel strained. That happens to me. So I might just lay it all the way down. And breathe in, and then give it a little bit of a break. I need to take breaks when I do this. Like this is really intense for me. It's just a really sensitive area. But you might, like me, find a spot here where reaching this arm out actually feels really good, and you're a bit more on the meaty stuff here, the more, you know, more on the muscle than just on the ribs. And so I might actually just stay here and breathe for a few minutes. Or when I say that, it's more like probably 20 seconds or 30 seconds. But then what you can do is play around with your arm, rotating it and rotating it. Ooh, I actually got a clunk there. So I am actually noticing that the ball, I've put the ball right where my scapula starts. So we're getting maybe even a little bit, if you can do this, of subscapularis. Ooh, that's great. And then I'm actually gonna like stretch my body out a little more and wedge this ball up towards my armpit. And now I'm getting some of that like maybe rear deltoid and that lat attachment stuff and some of the other rotator cuff muscles that come up towards the armpit. And again, you've got arm movements and breathing. You could just lay down and breathe into it and make it your own. But I like to kind of follow it all the way up. And I actually ended up the other day in my armpit. So you could certainly end up here as well, like right up there in the armpit in kind of that rear deltoid tricep attachment stuff, and just hang out there or scrub it out a little bit back and forth, or do some arm movements. You've seen me do this maybe on my lat and rear deltoid technique on a foam roller. So I'm combining it, and now I'm just really trying to get my body as long as I can. So I'm stretching my arm and I'm stretching my body and I'm breathing. So I like to actually compress things when they're more like scrunched up, and then lengthen after after you get the weight on and you compress. And this is like just a really great spot to just kind of hang out in, or, like I said, just do these tiny little scrubbing movements, really gentle. I could rock my body back and forth. That's very, very, very good. And by good, I mean really intense. So yeah, this is just a starting point. I encourage you to experiment. Oftentimes when I film these videos, I'm like, what was I doing the other day? I was so good. And then I don't remember because there are so many options for movements here. But they were only good for me. They might not have been good for you. So I always hope that when I'm doing these videos, it's a starting point for you, not an end point, that you can learn what this is all about and then really make it your own and get to know your own body and make up your own routines, right? Maybe it's a side body routine or a lower body routine or whatever. But I haven't yet put any videos out on this kind of side body stuff. So I'd love to hear what you think of this if you give it a try. And I typically spend, when I do this, when I need it, this routine here might actually last 10-15 minutes for me. I really take my time, maybe even on just one side. 20 minutes probably for both if I'm kind of just trying to get through both. Sometimes I'll only do my left side because I know that it's tighter. But if I kind of touch both sides a little bit and find that maybe eventually my right side will feel tighter, then I might do that side. And while I'm here, I'm actually noticing that this position is really great for this because I've actually lengthened a little bit and compressed, and it's actually a little bit different than when my arm is fully straight. So play around. Again, straight arm, bent arm, you could do here, right? Put it, oh, that's really good. See, all I have to do is tune into my body and it's going, hey, maybe you could try this and it would be even better. So have fun with it. Let me know your results in the comment section below. Thank you so much for watching, and I'll see you next time.